Hello, my name is Anthony and welcome to Wash Wednesday. Today we have Josh. Josh, what kind of car we got, man?
We got a bad mother.
Alright, so as you can see, this car is a little different than what we're typically used to, and we're matching. We're wearing the same clothes right now.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? Alright, so today we're gonna be performing a 2-bucket wash method with good old-fashioned soap and water. So, Josh, have you done a 2-bucket wash method before?
Yes, I have. That's usually what I do.
Oh, it is. All right, perfect. So, has this thing ever been waxed?
Never have I waxed this car.
Never have I ever
And usually
waxed
I wax cars.
All right, so because it is fun. So you know what? Today we're gonna wax this car and we're gonna see if we can turn this coal into a diamond.
Just a dirty diamond.
Just a dirty diamond into an even brighter diamond. All right, so you ready to do it?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Josh. So you said you hadn't washed this car in a while, right?
Yes, it's been like 4 years.
4 years?
Around that, yeah.
4 years, okay. Well, that's kind of why I wanted to grab these supplies. So I'm guessing the engine bay has probably never been touched.
Never been touched.
All right, so let's pop the hood and kind of give it a light dusting and before we actually get into the wash process. What the f is this?
That's a turbo LS in a Volvo.
What? All right, so we have a turbo LS sitting in front of us. This isn't stock, so I'm guessing that a lot of the areas that should be covered electronically, I mean,
Like those, yeah.
like that, we probably shouldn't get that wet.
No, don't do that.
All right, so this is gonna be a little different. This isn't gonna be your thorough engine clean. This is gonna be kind of a spot clean. So we'll just kind of do a couple sprays, power clean, dilute it at 3 to 1. Dude, this was dusty. You weren't kidding, man. 4
Came
years.
out of
4 years, but
99 Silverado.
99 silver. Is that what this engine's from?
Yeah, I think this year's like 2017.
Okay.
So it's a little old.
Okay.
You know what gets like fire damage off?
Fire damage.
Oh, this does.
What does it? It's working. All right. So there you guys go. Power clean is removing the fire damage.
But not the Sharpie.
But not the sharp. Well, that's good, right? Because we want to keep this because this is. Josh,
Yep,
what is this?
Well, you lose paper. It's harder to lose a hood. So I just kind of wrote everything I needed to do.
Like, is this like a shopping list or
no,
what?
that's like the build list.
So like, literally everything that's done is.
Fuel system, if it's marked off, it's done. That up there is also done, but I haven't marked it off. Like.
There's a lot. So I'm gonna have you explain everything that's done on this here soon.
Okay.
But let's get this
clean.
Clean, yeah. So fire damage being removed with power clean and our brush. That's awesome. This is all happening on camera. I couldn't even have planned this.
I mean,
so
I'm not kidding. It actually works pretty well.
It's awesome. So typically when you do an engine bay cleaning, I like to do a rinseless wash when I'm doing an engine bay using O&R diluted at standard dilution. I'll do my pre-spray, I'll do my scrub, and I'll do my rinse with no rinse, and then I will clean everything off and dry everything with a microfiber towel. Now in this case, because you have to be a little bit more meticulous about the wiring and things like that we don't want to get wet, the sensitive areas, we're kind of just doing a spot clean, which you can definitely do. And I'm just gonna lightly mist it. I don't want to get too many things wet, but just lightly mist everything. Kind of just rinse off the power clean. You don't want to let that sit on there for too long. Yeah. Not bad. All right, that's fine. We're good to go. Okay, so let's start drying things off, man. We grabbed these because you guys hadn't seen these in use before. But basically, any towel that's pliable, any towel that can be manipulated into tight cracks and tight crevices is going to be the best for engine components because, as you can see, half these things I can't reach into with just my hand. All right, it's a little power clean We don't want to remove the Sharpie, but we do want to remove that dirt that's building up there. So just lightly over the Sharpie marks. Then can you reach that side? There you go, nice. This hood's awesome. I love how this opens up like this, man. So much room for activities. All right, so the engine bay is done. What do you think, man? Turned out a little bit better than what you thought?
It works.
It works?
Yeah, I mean, it got a lot cleaner.
Worked firsthand. All right, right on. So we're gonna be moving to the wash process. So we are gonna be doing a pre-rinse with good old-fashioned water. We're gonna be rinsing from top to bottom, as you should. There's tons of dirt and debris. And do you take this thing off-roading?
Yes, I do.
You do? Okay. Good man. Good man. It all makes sense. It's all coming together. So we're gonna start rinsing. If you want to grab the buckets, we'll get started on this. There's literally everything on this car. There is bird droppings, there's bug guts, I'm pretty sure there's rocks. I think there's full-blown rocks on the thing that I'm taking off.
I was practicing on getting really close to fences when I was drifting in the snow.
Wait, you're what? You're drifting?
Yes.
Drifting this.
And I got
Volvo,
the fence right here. That I kept. I just wanted to leave that. That was my trophy.
All right, so we have our wash mitts here. So Josh, you are gonna be the second person to ever use our Cyclone wash mitts on Wash Wednesday. There you go, sir.
Thank you, my friend.
You're very welcome. So these are a 70-30 Korean blend. They're super soft and they are perfect for a soap and water wash. They just hold a ton of suds. So for our 2-bucket wash method, Josh, you said you've done it before, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so then you know the routine. Basically, we're gonna go panel by panel. Basically meaning we're gonna go into our wash bucket, onto the car, into our rinse bucket, back into our wash bucket, back onto the car.
It's a relay race of car washing.
It's exactly what it is, a relay race of car washing. We are using the Optimum car wash soap, so kind of sitting at the bottom, so I have to mix it up a little bit. Just gonna froth it, just kind of work it in. There we go. This is a lot of I feel like I'm washing a small truck right now, is what I feel like. But all right, Josh, so I think it's time to start talking about this car, man.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about pretty much everything because I feel like you have a lot to explain.
So I bought it while I was in college.
Okay.
And I am the person who bought a Volvo while in college because that's the smart, responsible thing to do.
It is, yeah,
Volvos
makes
are
sense.
Safe. They're affordable, they're easy to fix.
Safest car in the world, right?
Safest car in the world. And then I ended up putting a V8 in it because it was so safe, but I wanted something faster.
Well, V8s are safe, right? To a certain degree.
They're not. They're not safe at all. They're fast.
Okay.
And I just kind of wanted that. I mean,
all right. So you put a V8 in it, and
turbo on it.
Then you put a turbo on it. But
I found this YouTube channel called Sloppy Mechanics.
Okay.
And this guy did these turbo LS swaps and Ford Fairmonts. And I got really hooked on it, and I was like, I don't have a Ford Fairmont, I have a lifted Volvo. So I did that. And
have you gone back over into the rinse bucket yet?
No.
What?
I've been washing, dude.
Okay, go back into the rinse bucket. This is the proper 2-bucket wash method.
Whoops.
You gotta release all that dirt, and then you gotta reload back up with soap. But it just goes to show you're able to knock out half the car there with one load of soap and water, right?
Started working at this shop called Throttle Works down in Garden City, Idaho.
Okay, and what do you guys do over there?
We do LS swaps.
Specifically, or?
That's a big thing of what we do.
Like, did you learn most of like your mechanics and most of your experience just being hands-on? Is that kind of what you did?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I had never done an engine swap before, let alone like a drivetrain build.
So basically, so I'm looking at this car, and kind of like I was telling you early, it's like, did you just have like a dream or like an epiphany, and you're like, yes,
Not necessarily.
Okay. So how did this? I know you bought a Volvo. I know you
Yeah.
kind of was working with what you were working with what you had, but this isn't something that people would normally do.
That's correct.
So the lift, at least explain the lift, because
okay,
I'm pretty sure that's what's throwing me off right now.
When I bought it, actually, I got a cut-off wheel and I cut the springs and it was slammed. I found this open spot and I wanted to like slide around a little bit. Because before this car, I had a 240SX with a CA18 DET in it, and that was my little drift car.
Okay, so you had a drift car before this. So that's kind of a different transition there.
Car. Still rear-wheel drive though. Yeah. And so I tried doing that, and I caught some rocks with the crossmember on the transmission. And then I think I had a rebellion against low cars.
A rebellion?
Yeah.
What you learned your entire life was no longer relevant, or what?
Pretty much. Like I wanted to do something in the dirt, but I had no way to do it. Yeah, I got on Google and I like searched lifted Volvo, and there was one guy who had one, and it was a 240 wagon, same color, and he had like all-terrain tires on it.
Okay.
And I was like, that's it.
That's it.
That's the weird thing.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, that's what I can do with this car.
So your S13 was that weird in essence? No.
Not at all. That's just the most basic thing you can do anymore is have an S13.
You wanted something unique. You wanted something.
I guess so. Yeah.
Different that
something
nobody else
a little
had.
different. So I had a lifted Volvo.
A little different, yeah.
Which essentially is like a long Jeep Cherokee. So yeah, I lifted it, and then I had a friend who is a Volvo friend. His name is Tom. He showed me like a Super Chevy article on how to make like 594 horsepower for $3,500. And it was basically doing a turbo LS and whatever you wanted. And the cool part is you can use just a stock motor. And people get kind of hung up on, well, an LS is an LS1 or a 2 or a 6 or a 9 or whatever.
People know numbers after the LS, right?
But the truck motors are also the same architecture. They're not, you know, LS, they're LMs or LQs or whatever. Same motor.
You're essentially getting the same motor.
Yeah, for cheaper, way cheaper.
For cheaper.
And that's the biggest thing is like to get an LS1, it's $2,500. To get this motor, it's $280.
Yeah.
It's tax on one.
Gotcha. So you're paying that Corvette or that LS, you know, first 2-digit tax
or
or
F-body
number
Camaro,
tax.
yeah. And the difference is, you know, a bigger bore and an aluminum block and better heads. And this has an iron block and worse heads and smaller bore, but yet it still made 415 wheel horsepower on 8 pounds of boost. Which was 552 at the crank.
So have you ever been to Mexico? I guess raced a Corvette.
Yes.
You have. You tripped down to Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the outcome of that?
The Corvette lost badly. Like, have you ever seen a rabbit race a turtle?
Yeah.
That's the rabbit.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm guessing the Corvette owner probably didn't expect that.
I don't think he was happy. So this, how much did I buy it off Craigslist for? $675. How much was my motor? $280. How much was my turbo? $335.
So for under.
It has that much power for no money at all, and yet it's still reliable. That's why you do it.
That's why you do it. Okay.
Everything about them interchanges. You can take LS1 parts, 6 parts, 9 parts, and throw them on that.
It's just like a puzzle where all the pieces fit.
Yeah.
It's just
like Legos.
It's like Legos for big kids that want V8 and want power and sound and torque, right?
Yeah, and it's just like the best of all worlds.
No, that's awesome. Okay, so the car is covered in soap right now. So before the soap starts drying, we're actually gonna hit the wheels. So we're gonna do the wheels and the car all in the same run. So we're gonna grab Power Clean and our famous wheel brushes and get those hit really quick before we do our final rinse. All right, so the wheels are still wet and we've made quite a mess with the soap and water. This is a lot different than what we're used to with O&R. But you got Power Clean, let's do it 3-to-1. So go ahead and do a pre-spray on that wheel. I'll follow up with a brush here. So typically with Power Clean, you want to let it, I think I got some mouth. I think the wind, it doesn't taste bad. If I wouldn't do it. So
look at that.
You want to let it sit for about 5 to 10 seconds, which we have done, and he's going to town with it.
Clean it all up.
All right, so
amazing.
So go ahead and grab a brush. It's actually, you can actually see the dirt just kind of falling off the wheel here. So I'll usually hit the barrels first, kind of build up a nice sud with the Power Clean. You can hit that side, there's plenty of wheel to go around.
Only 15s.
Wow. All right,
I'm
so
actually
now
surprised.
We'll go into a dip.
I didn't know that they could be like that clean.
Yeah. And then tires.
Tires are filthy.
We are gonna move on and get the rest of the wheels knocked out before we do our final spray. So we'll let this soak for a few minutes. get the rest of the wheels and tires, and then come back and do a spray and get everything cleaned. Okay, so the front wheel turned out great. Turned out nice and shiny. This rear wheel isn't turning out so good. And now, I'm sure some of you guys have this kind of corrosion at home. So this is pitting, is what we would call this. So this is actually little divots in the metal itself, meaning that it is corroded. It is deeper than the surface. So for something like this, you really can't get rid of this unless you sandblast and repaint them or polish them. Or kind of get something that's going to be able to dig down into the metal itself. Any cleaner is not going to do that. So if you guys see a dirty wheel, that's the reason why. So we'll clean it up to the best of our abilities, at least get the tires nice and clean, and then get the tires nice and clean and then move on. All right, so it's time to rinse off the car, and I gotta say, man, I literally can't believe that wheel. That turned out 10 times better
than expected.
Than I could have expected, like straight up. That was
pretty all right.
That looks pretty all right. Yeah. Probably the best that wheel's ever looked.
It's probably the best the car has ever looked.
That one, not so much, right? Yeah. But this one, this is the breadwinner right here. So I'm gonna have you spray down the car. I'm gonna go grab the drying towels and the car wax so we can get this thing protected and looking better than ever. Right on? Sounds Thumbs good. Up? All right. Okay, so I have our drying towels. Today we're gonna be using our Drive Me a River Juniors in white. So these are a Korean waffle weave, a 70-30 blend. They are one of our most absorbent towels. On top of that, we're gonna be using our Optimum Car Wax as a drying aid, and we're gonna completely saturate this car in car wax, because I'm pretty sure it's never seen car wax, and it needs it, right?
It does.
It's kind of too late for the roof. It's too late for the roof, but I'm pretty sure we can protect the other areas. So there you go, sir. Now keep it folded. This is one thing that I like to do, is keep it folded. And I'm gonna go ahead and prime the towel, which means I'm going to spray car wax onto the towel itself, spray it onto the towel, and then we're gonna do 1 spray per panel, 2 sprays on the bigger panel. So here's a door for you. Go ahead and take the towel to that wax and start drying. Oh my God.
Holy shit.
And so you can,
holy shit.
This is probably the most love this car has seen. And so what you can do is you can flip over the towel if you need to and kind of buff off the other area if you're seeing any leftover wax.
It has a sheen.
Have you ever said that about this car before?
No.
I can tell how you're genuinely excited right now.
I'm happy about this. Wow.
So I think a lot of this is actually like, that's like missing paint.
That's the car.
Okay, yeah. That's the car itself.
That's not dirt.
All right, so that is the car itself, because that's not coming off, man. But, well, it looks good. I think it looks good enough.
It looks better.
It looks better. All right, so the car is dry. The car is waxed. We're gonna go ahead and grab some edgeless 245s to clean up the rest of these wheels. And we're gonna be using tire shine on the tires because we have a nice meaty surface area to get these things looking good. Okay, so we got the last of our supplies to finish the Volvo. We have our black edgeless 245s, do some drying on what's left of the wheels, as far as what's, left of the water on the wheels, not what's left of the wheels. And then we have our microfiber Terry applicator, so we can apply our Optimum tire shine to these meaty tires. So we'll start right here, Josh, and kind of start, these are pretty easy wheels to dry. I'm pretty sure we could have just did a 1 pass, or I'm pretty sure they would have dried themselves.
They're dry.
But that's it, they're dry. So we have our tire shine here. So we're just gonna do a couple squirts and use our applicator sponge, or that's fine as well. That's fine as well. But we're gonna take our Terry and we are going to work the tire shine in. And then after it's got a nice lather there, you can see some of the dirt coming off. It's got a nice lather there. That's when we can follow up with that towel.
Is this the time where you say shout out to BF Goodrich in the center line?
Yeah. All right. So you can now, what you can do is you can leave that sit on there and it is going to dry and leave a nice shine. If you're looking for more of that satin finish, you can go over it with a towel such as the edgeless 245 and take off what's left of it to kind of get it a nice matte satin look. All right, so the Volvo is officially done. Now, it may not be to most people's standards, but it is looking better than it looked when you brought it in, right?
It is. It looks like it's clean.
It looks like it's clean. It looks like it's been clean in 4 years. So that's awesome. It's looking really, really good. And that tire shine did some wonders for those tires. So, Josh, what do you think? What do you think about the process?
I was pretty impressed by the power clean. I didn't expect it to get things clean.
Yeah, like under the hood or like the wheels and tires.
Wheels, and I mean, that one's obviously horrible, but this one is popping.
Yeah.
So one wheel is fine.
One wheel, you'll take it, right? That works. That's awesome, dude. So I guess now it's time for the most important question of this entire episode, of this entire series, which is, can we go for a ride?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. All right, let's do it. All right, so Volvos are not supposed to sound like this. This thing, dude, this thing's awesome. So our seatbelts are on and we're ready to go, so let's do it, man.